Hello and welcome to another Tales from the Tech Ninja. My name is John Gotobed and I am Final Boss Fight's resident Tech Ninja. And you join me here again at the Tech Ninja Dojo for another episode 11 of Tech Ninja Tales, where we are going to continue working on the applied energistic system I've been setting up in the basement and make it somewhat more advanced. So the first step I'm going to take today, and I hope I've managed to do all the crafting I need to do for this, is I'm going to set up a quick molecular assembly chamber, which is a simple multi-block structure that will basically handle crafting for me. And I'm going to make the smallest one for the moment, and I'll upgrade it later. Basically, with this, every single edge piece needs to be one of these container walls. Every non-edge piece wall needs to be a heat vent, and then in the center you can put pattern providers, and if you make bigger ones you can also mix it up and have some crafting CPUs in there that make it move quicker. And then when I put this last piece in, it changes and we have a molecular assembler chamber. We've only got the one page because basically each pattern provider we have inside this adds more pages that we can put of these blank patterns. And so to get the blank pattern, all we need to do is put down the blank pattern table, put some patterns in, and then we just need to put the recipe in there. So with any eye active, I can shift click the items in there. It doesn't actually use them up. And then I can encode the pattern. So I've now got a pattern to make more blank patterns. So now the system, once I put this in here, and go over to this, I can look up blank patterns. It's got crafting, and I can tell the system to start crafting more for me. So obviously this is really useful because it means that rather than sitting there doing all this dull crafting of patterns that I'm going to need lots of, I can just let the system do it for me. It also means that now I can start setting things up. So what I'm thinking I'm going to do is I'm going to get an interface on these two, and then I'm going to come up here and also pipe up an interface for the induction smelter and possibly these two. I might need to work something out to get that properly going. And so then I can start to get it to autocraft things like the hardened glass and stuff like that. But for now, what I'm going to set up is the interfaces on these two so that I can get pulverized things and, more importantly, cooked things, because I'm going to set up some interfaces. So with this ME system, crafting has gotten so much easier. I'm even just going to show you this quickly. I want to make an interface, so I look it up in NEI. I see that I need a conversion matrix. So I need 3 interfaces at the moment. So I just go and throw these in the furnace, head back upstairs, interface. So I need the conversion matrices, I need fluix dust for that. Conversion matrix, fluix dust. Throw that into the system. Conversion matrix should have smelted up all that I needed by now. Does that have everything I need? Perfect. And that's it. I've done the crafting. So what I can do is get rid of that export bus and that export bus. and pop these interfaces down. And I'm going to keep hold of this interface for the moment because that's for something later on. But with these, I can just put in patterns, tell it to point downwards. I can put patterns into these for things that need to be pulverized or need to be furnaced. And so, for instance, if I have a look at the recipe for the I need to go and grab the crafting grid. If I look at the recipe for, say, the processor, I can grab one of these. Actually, I need 2 of them. I got rid of my quartz knife. Come back. I need 2 of those, and I'm also going to grab processor, 2 of these. And so then I just pop them and I've got a export bus set up underneath that pulls them out automatically when they're cooked. And unfortunately, because of the way that this works, I can pop that in there, and it doesn't have a recipe because this is a normal crafting table. So that's why I needed to make 2 of them so that I could tell it what it would get out when it made the thing. So I can tell it that this leads to this, encode that, and so then I've got these 2 patterns that I can throw in here, and then if I also get patterns for, I think I can set up patterns for these, even though it requires this that can get used up. Might want to make one for a quartz cutting knife while I'm at it. Oh, if I press the right button, might come in handy. So I can just throw all of these in there, throw these into the system. Oh no, didn't want to do that because I want to type processor and say, let's get a couple of these cooked up. So it's taken the one that it had in the system, and it's thrown one in there, and there's the other one. So that is just going to make things so much easier now that I can just tell it to craft things for me. But what do I want with this interface? I'm going to set that up upstairs, I think. I'm going to need some transposers. What are they called? I'm going to look through here and remember what the thing I'm after is. I'll be right back, guys. It was translocators, not transposers. And so with this, I'm going to set it up so that I've got my ender chest. I'm going to just use the blue ender chest because I might as well. There's only I was only using it to transport things between Magic Base and here, and it can be used for this as well. And what I'm going to do is come underneath here. And I think if I set this up with a diamond nugget, I can tell it to regulate. And what I want to do is grab a stack of torches and grab, do I have any bread? I want to tell it to grab a stack of torches and close to a stack of bread, and I'm going to tell it to keep that stocked in this interface. And so basically what that's going to do is the interface is going to grab the exported item, and as soon as this chest doesn't have enough items in it, the transposer will throw some more in there, and then the interface will fill back up, and I'll be able to access this out in the world. So what I need to do next, clear that, and I need to grab a recipe for torch. And while I'm at it, I should also grab the recipe for stick. You know, just in case there aren't sticks in the system. And then I'm also going to need to make bread. And so I'm going to make... How do you make flour? No, I don't want to do that. What you can do is we'll take the barley and the wheat. And I'll throw these into there, and then that's barley flour. And then wheat flour, we want more of that too. I've already got bread on my person, so I can encode, oh, I need to tell it that makes bread. So 1 barley flour and 1 furnacing gets you bread, as does wheat flour. So I throw these into here to say if you put that in there, and the system already knows that it needs to make some bread. So I throw the bread that I already had in my pack in there. It'll fill up this chest, and then when I take that out, it'll keep filling it up. It's going to keep cooking. So if I'm getting through a lot of bread really quickly for some reason, it's not going to have a chance to refill itself. But hopefully, one, I will never need to eat that much bread that quickly, but also I will be able to spell pouch for a start. I will be able to fill it up with other foodstuffs. So that I don't just have to rely on the bread. And then if I make this ender pouch, and I go downstairs, I need to bind it to the blue chest. And shift click, yeah. So now I've got that anywhere in the world. Okay, it seems that setting up the applied energistic system is going to take me a lot longer than I had thought it would, and so I'm going to split this into another two-parter episode focusing on AE. Next time I'm going to work on getting my machine room upstairs plumbed into the network, and I will see you then.